This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. In August of last year, we told you that we had it on pretty good authority that Chevy was going to come out with a version of the Corvette even more extreme than the ZR1 that has all-wheel drive. And pretty much everything we reported at the time is now being confirmed with the introduction of the Corvette ZR1X. The mid-mounted twin-turbo V8 from the ZR1, which makes 1,064 horsepower, is paired with a front-mounted electric motor similar to the one in the Corvette E-Ray. But the unit in the ZR1X features stronger internal components and better energy output, which means it's capable of making 186 horsepower. That brings total output to 1,250 horsepower and gives the ZR1X the ability to do 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. No word on when the model goes on sale yet or what the price will be. But for reference, a completely tricked out ZR1 is just a shade under 200 grand. So the ZR1X will easily top that figure. Sales of new energy vehicles in China have been surging ahead thanks to leading-edge cars, but also because of government subsidies. And now several cities in China say they're running out of that money. They expect to get more subsidy money from the central government later this year. But this could slow down car sales until they do. The subsidies are for trade-ins of used cars, and that itself triggered something of a scandal. Some automakers are claiming that new or almost new cars are actually used cars, and they're selling them that way to collect the used car subsidy. That's one reason why the subsidy money is running out. But the central government is also looking to crack down on companies selling cars with no miles on them that are classified as used. The UAW's president, Shawn Fain, is a foul-mouthed, angry union leader who uses threats against people who don't agree with him. That's according to a court-appointed watchdog who is monitoring the union as part of the aftermath of its corruption scandal that saw 2 previous UAW presidents go to prison. The watchdog says Fain stripped another union official of her oversight over several union departments and that he needs to reinstate her duties. This should be very embarrassing to the UAW. While Fain likes to talk about solidarity within the union, the latest watchdog report shows that it's dealing with infighting and mistrust amongst its leadership. Last year's sales of the Ram pickup in the U.S. fell 16%. They fell another 12% in the first quarter. So Ram is taking action to put its pickups back on shopping lists. A couple of weeks ago, it announced it's bringing back the Hemi V8. And today it announced it's offering a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. It applies to light and heavy-duty pickups, as well as the ProMaster van. And this is similar to what Hyundai did back in 1999, when it offered a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Sales immediately shot up, and the program is so successful at bringing new buyers in that Hyundai is sticking with it, even though extended warranties can turn out to be quite expensive. Another big oil company is getting into lithium production. 2 years ago, ExxonMobil acquired land in Arkansas to mine for lithium that's part of the Smackover Formation, which has a massive deposit of the metal. And now Chevron has also acquired land in Arkansas and Texas that's part of the same formation. Chevron says this is the first step in establishing a commercial-scale lithium business, but it didn't say how much or when it will start producing lithium.
Knowing that a little rain won't slow down your day. That's what really matters. Bridgestone Turanza Quiet Track tires. Confident control in wet conditions.
Volkswagen's mobility services and ride-hailing company called Moya just introduced a production-ready version of an autonomous ID Buzz. Starting next year, the automaker will offer the vehicle for deployment to cities, municipalities, and to fleet operators in Europe and the U.S. These autonomous ID Buzzes are SAE Level 4 autonomous vehicles that feature mobilized self-driving system, which includes 13 cameras, 9 LiDARs, and 5 radars. MOIA will also provide operators with AI software to manage the fleets in real time, automatically assist passengers, and it can integrate into existing booking apps. MOIA will further support operators with simulation and training, as well as deployment and live monitoring of day-to-day operations. China cutting off supplies of rare earth materials in retaliation to U.S. tariffs could eventually impact all automakers and suppliers. Ford CEO Jim Farley even said the company had to shut down some plants due to a lack of rare earths. Since the market for such critical materials can change so easily, Scout Motors is trying to reduce its reliance on them. CEO Scott Keogh told Bloomberg that it's exploring ways to engineer motors and brake units with fewer rare earth materials. We wonder if Rivian is involved with these efforts, since the Traveler SUV and Terra pickup truck will be based on Rivian's electronic architecture. Either way, the move should reduce costs for Scout and make the company stronger in the long run. But let's be honest here, Scout has a major advantage over other automakers like Ford. Its vehicles aren't scheduled to come out until 2027, so it's much easier to make these adjustments now. And speaking of reducing reliances, Chinese tech companies look like they're trying to reduce their reliance on traditional EV battery makers like CATL and BYD. Huawei filed a patent for a new sulfide-based solid-state battery, which uses a new nitrogen doping process on the electrolyte that improves safety and life for these kinds of batteries. It claims they'll have an energy density between 400 and 500 watt-hours per kilogram, about double today's lithium-ion batteries, offer a range of up to 3,000 kilometers or about 1,860 miles, and the ability to recharge in as little as 5 minutes. While research shows these figures are possible, there's currently no charging solution available that's capable of providing that kind of power. Plus, Car News China estimates that it costs between $1,100 and $1,400 per kilowatt hour to produce solid-state battery cells right now. And experts say for EVs to reach cost parity with ICE vehicles, battery costs need to be around $100 per kilowatt hour. On a global basis, battery costs reached $115 per kilowatt hour last year, but China was a major reason that figure is as low as it is. Honda is jumping into the last-mile delivery vehicle business. The automaker established a new company called Fastport, which will debut its first product at the end of the month in Germany. It's an electric quadricycle called the E-Quad, which features swappable battery packs and will be available in 2 sizes. The larger version will have a range of up to 23 miles depending on the payload, and both models have a top speed of 12 miles an hour or 20 kilometers an hour. Other features include regenerative braking and automatic parking brakes. Fastport will start delivering the E-Quad in Europe and the US by the end of the year, and it will go into mass production starting next summer. U.S. versions will be built at Honda's Performance Manufacturing Center in Ohio that makes specialty vehicles like the Acura NSX, Fuel Cell CR-V, and Honda's race cars. But that's a wrap for this show. Thanks for tuning in.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering boost your game. Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility. And by
Developing today's vehicles, issues can happen in an instant. What good is knowing your problems without the data to solve them? Meet Wireless Neovi Cloud, your secure off-the-shelf solution, empowering real-time collaboration for quick resolution. With Wireless Neovi Cloud, your team can prevent issues before they can escalate. driver communication data, and remote diagnostics to analyze and resolve your problems using OTA, allowing your executives oversight throughout the process. Wireless Nearby Cloud, your vehicle update solution in production and on the road. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
There's nothing wrong with heavy metal.
Hey, lighten up.
But with world-class composite material, Teijin Automotive Technologies makes vehicles lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly.